Alright, treacles, welcome to the show. I'm in Dalston, East London. I'm here to chat to Squid Tabernacle, a dynamic curatorial team made up of Hanna, Sorrell and George Major, halfway through their latest series of shows. George Major and Hanna Sorrell. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, good thanks.
Yeah? Right, stupid question to start us off with. Squid and Tabernacle. I know what a squid is. What's a tabernacle?
A tabernacle is a movable place that people would store relics in biblical times. So it sort of is relevant to what we're doing because we're a nomadic gallery space.
On the topic of your nomadic lifestyle, is that a conceptual decision that you've made, or is that a clever means of evading constant rent fees?
Initially the first. We don't really have a remit or anything. There's no specific theme behind what we do.
And we're interested in site-specific
That's what I mean.
Shows and installations.
What are the considerations that go into having one artist as opposed to a collection of artists?
I think again that comes from the site-specific nature of what we're doing. It's much easier for one artist to make one installation by themselves than, you know, a group of artists to come together and do it. Then it would be more of a collaboration.
This space has given us the chance to let the artist have free reign of the space for a few weeks before the show, which you don't normally get. Normally the artist would have to make the work in their studio, then bring it in.
If you were to each be given a magic paintbrush that you could wave in the air and have any artist in the world be represented by your good selves,
wow,
who would you like to pick?
We were going to have Boakye-Yiadom. We were going to do a posthumous retrospective.
I'd have Bruce Nauman. He would be my pick.
Yeah, any reason?
Because he's a ledge.
Fair enough.
Liane.
Yeah. Very good.
Fair enough. Good point. Good point, well made. Hello, Liane. During the course of your career so far, you've worked very site-specifically. What is it about working in that method that appeals to you so much?
I tend to start with objects and spaces, so the site-specific context offers itself to that methodology. So I tend to come to a place and then I imagine what might have gone on there at some time, and I bring in my own characters. So I kind of have as that stable element, which is my characters.
Is that something that you sort of picked up during your studies? Because to me that sounds like a very innate skill that maybe you retained from childhood.
I always did like modelling, but I started making the very lifelike figures when I was at the Royal Academy, so it kind of developed from being plasticine and clay, which I still do actually, but more these sort of very lifelike casts figures.
Did these characters exist before you come to a space, or are they born within the space?
The starting point for this project was when I was in the shipping container, and I was reminded of a postcard that I've had since I was about 14, which is a picture by Dora Maar of a little ship on a sea of hair. It's actually an advertisement that she made for a hair oil in the 1920s. So I started with, it was a kind of instantly thought of that image, the shipping container, that kind of strange location, and so the story spun from there. So I created the character and all the surrounding narrative in my head pretty much before I started filming. The most striking thing is that nothing ever stays the same. So any space that I go into and I look around and I think, oh, that would be brilliant, what a great shot. I come back, it doesn't matter whether I come back the next day, the next week, it's always gone. So it's always something that has to happen on the day. You have to have the camera there and you have to film it right there.
Brilliant. The work is actually beautiful, I really do enjoy it. Hi Junior.
Hi.
Thanks for chatting to us today. Now your work, you know, sort of to the naked eye, is seemingly random objects being hammered into a wall by a drum pedal.
Yeah.
But it actually relates to a cultural narrative, doesn't it?
Impersonation is something that comes about through an understanding through the great record or archive of visual history. So I suppose it's more cultural narrative in terms of like sort of piecing stories together, or taking and understanding how the metamorphosis is within a sort of storyline. You know, like, I don't know, for instance, Christmas nativity plays are a perfect example, because you know it's incorporated differently from in each school, or you know the story is the same, but through time the story is just being metamorphosized. And
well, you get kangaroos in some school plays, and
and I suppose I come at things from that angle with the objects as well, and having the objects as an abstract as possible. It sort of allows you sort of have this it's quite a humanistic relationship you have with them, because you understand that these objects you've got the impression that they exist before and they will exist after my existence, in a sense.
Because obviously this site is very specific, and you know the works have been invited to be site specific. Is that a case then if you work in your methodology and your ideas into this new space, or is it, or do you get motivated by the new area?
I suppose this is the piece I made was site specific, but in a very abstract sense. Like I understand that I was using a container. But
big box.
Yeah. So I decided to just play on the sound element, and I sort of approached it from not actually seeing the space for what I just knew that this was what was going to happen.
Thank you so much for chatting to us today. It's been really nice, and I really like the work, and it's nice understanding where it's all coming from. So thank you very much.
Back to the